Even though dogs are noble, loyal, and loving animals, there are some things they don't tolerate. That's why it's important to know everything our best friends don't like to avoid. If you're interested in learning about the mistakes you've probably made with your dog, you're in the right place. To begin with, you should know that some of these points are more tolerated by some dogs. That is, not everyone is bothered equally, but there are some who are more patient and tolerant, so do not be surprised if your dog does not bother any of these points. Number 1. Hug him. Actually, this point applies more with unfamiliar dogs. Although your friend may love to receive hugs from you, it is important that you know that hugging dogs that are not used to you can be quite dangerous, since when the hug comes from a stranger, and especially surprise, it is when it bothers and stresses them, so they can become aggressive. Mainly avoid hugs from behind, since they are the ones that generate the most distrust and discomfort, and consequently can give you a good bite. Number 2. Touch his nose. You should know that the nose is one of the most sensitive parts of a dog's body, which is why you should avoid touching that area aggressively, because apart from the pain you will bother it and can react aggressively. There have also been cases of puppies dying from a heavy blow to that part of their body. In fact, I recently saw a challenge on TikTok that involves hitting your dog's nose to the beat of music. Although these blows are quite soft, it is evident that the puppy is uncomfortable, because each time it recedes a little more. So please do not do this challenge, for your pet's sake. And if you are one of those who believe that by tapping them in that area you are educating it, now you know that it is a mistake and that in fact you were hurting them. Number 3. Blow it in the face. It may seem fun to blow your puppy in the face to see their reaction as they move their face back and forth and sometimes walk in reverse. But if you have never done this, do not do it, because due to the sensitivity of the face of dogs, we can damage some of their organs. At the time of blowing, we mainly irritate its nose, eyes, ears, and muzzle. At the same time, this brings other problems, because having a dry and irritated nose, they cannot breathe properly and also suffer disorientation in their environment. Number 4. Talk to him a lot. Do not misunderstand me, there are people who we usually talk regularly to our pets, and there is nothing wrong with it, as long as we do not use too many words with them, since they will not understand us. We just confuse them and stress them. Yes, you can chat with your pet, but it is better to talk to it when necessary and with the words it already knows. Of course, always accompanied by movements with your body, since body language is key to understand what you want to say and will interpret it better. Number 5. Force him to socialize. It applies equally with people as with other dogs, cats, or any living being. It happens that sometimes we believe that being a dog must live with everyone and be friendly, but it happens the same as with us. Not all humans like us, so if you force it to get along with someone who does not like you, sure put him in bad. So do not put it to socialize forcibly with other puppies, since it could react aggressively. If your dog is already an adult and has these socialization problems, I recommend going to an expert to help you overcome these complications, because if you do it on your own it can end badly. Before going forward, I invite you to comment something else you have noticed that dogs do not like but humans do frequently. I will be reading your comments. Number 6. Playing with sticks. It is no secret that our dogs are very entertained by taking a stick and biting it, or when we go out to the field with it we make the mistake of throwing a stick at it and making it go to bring it back. But this is extremely dangerous, because if it takes it in a bad position or gets stuck with something, it can stick one of the ends inside the muzzle or in the throat. But even if it doesn't suffer injuries, this can bring it some health complications like cavities and broken teeth. So you can replace the stick with another toy like a ball. Just take care that it is not too small, so that it does not suffocate with it while it is playing. Number 7. Don't letting him sleep. I have seen that there are many owners who find it funny to bother their dogs while they try to rest so that they do not sleep. If you do this frequently, you will only get him in a bad mood and maybe attack you. So let it sleep easy. That surely if it was opposite you wouldn't put up with him that much. Number 8. Petting his head. It causes dogs some discomfort and also distrust that they caress their head above, since in fact it seems a sign of dominance over him. Instead of stroking over its eyes or between its ears, do it under its muzzle, on its side or on its chest, as they are the most suitable areas to do so. Number 9. Dressing him up for fun. Although it is funny to see our friends in disguises of anything, the reality is that disguising them like this is not comfortable for them. On the contrary, almost always the excess of accessories and articles that they carry hinder them, and sometimes they are too heavy. Although there are puppies that get used to it, it is best to avoid doing it unless it is cold. In that case, if you must, put some garment that gives warmth, but if it is not the case, do not disguise it for your own fun. Number 10. Letting him in the bathroom. It is curious that the image of the dog in the bathroom is so normalized, and the worst, the typical dog drinking water from the bathroom cup. Needless to say, doing this brings them a lot of germs, viruses, bacteria, and diseases. But the problem is not only the water of the cup or the wet floor, but some puppies are very curious and can ingest soap or other substances harmful to their body. Number 11. Watching it steady. Remember that although the dog is a domestic animal, it is still an animal, therefore it still has wild instincts, and in the wild world, fixed gazes in the eyes are synonymous with tension and a challenge. So when two animals look into each other's eyes for a good while, they end up fighting, so avoid doing this. It should be noted that if you see a dog that is not yours for a long time, it may try to bite you, so there is one more reason not to do it. Number 12. Giving him fast food. Some foods such as hamburgers, pizzas, and hot dogs contain an enormous amount of calories, much more than its body needs, because its body does not have the ability to process as much fat as the human body. If you give it this type of food frequently, you can cause digestive problems and various diseases. Therefore, you would be shortening its life expectancy and damaging the quality of it. Number 13. Giving it verbal orders. For better communication, it is always better to accompany the orders you give him with bodily movements, because if you only say words, he will have difficulty understanding the meaning of some. Number 14. The tight collar. If your dog has a too tight collar, it obviously hurts it, puts it in a bad mood, and causes him serious health problems, so loosen it up a bit so he doesn't hurt it and make it feel comfortable. Number 15. Putting a necklace before time. Speaking of collars, this is one of the indispensable accessories for dogs. The problem is that some do not know how to use it for lack of habit, and when they feel it for the first time, and they pull on the leash. If in spite of your discomfort you force him to use it, you can produce a shortness of breath, discomfort, and what is worse, a fracture in the neck. The bones in that part of its body are very fragile, so it could have very serious consequences. So you can replace the collar with a harness to avoid these problems, at least until it learns to walk without pulling the strap. I invite you to subscribe for more videos like this. You can also follow our networks for more content. Let's keep the Gary's legend alive.